Ladies and gentlemen, the transfer window of the Europe has been closed, and more importantly than not, Arsenal have made the last signing that Arsenal completed. The incomings, as one would say, is Takehiro Tomiyasu. Well, Tommy has actually joined Arsenal, so he has a message via Arsenal website. He says, I promise you I will give everything to contribute to the team. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the stadium. That's the message from Arsenal's latest signing. I generally gave you a brief idea of what Takehiro Tomiyasu can bring to the table, but again, there's another Twitter thread that I would really, would want to focus on so that you guys will have a wonderful time listening to exactly what Takehiro. Lots of people messaged me on Instagram that IG, why did Arsenal sign Takehiro? Why did we need another defender? But trust me, lads, he's a fullback and not an offensive one, but definitely he'll come. Tactically, he would really help Arsenal. So Mikel Arteta himself spoke about him. Says Takehiro is a strong defender with good experience in Serie A and at international level. He is a versatile defender with great defensive qualities, his high technical ability, and composure on the ball. He will be an important member of our squad. We look forward to Takehiro joining up with us when he returns from international duty. Well, not about Takehiro because Arsenal and Bologna. Uh, the last update from Kave Solikol was that they both exchanged contracts. The player will sign a 4-year deal. He will fly to London on 8th of September after international duty with Japan. He was actually undergoing a medical confirmed by David Onsen. He's here. Why would we even want to talk about that? But Edu says about Takehiro, he says, we are delighted to have signed Takehiro. We've been watching him for a while now, and we are pleased that we have reached an agreement with Bologna. He is an important addition to our squad, while Tomiyasu will be wearing the number 18 shirt. You know who was wearing it previously, right? He's the new number 18 for Arsenal. Big Sam on Ainsley says, the problem with Ainsley is his position. His only position that he wants to play is central midfield. The reason he came to West Brom, which he forced through, was because I said he'd play in midfield. So, or moving on. So talking about more stuff, Ali Coach, Fenerbahce president says you will see Kolasinac will sign for another club for 1 to 1.5 million euros. Sead Kolasinac's side contacted us. They asked for a 3-year contract and 3 million euros per year with a 3 million euros sign-on fee. We did not accept it. So they did not accept it. That is according to Yagis Sabinchoglu. He has confirmed it that Kolasinac and his agent asked a lot, with which Fenerbahce president thought he's really asking a lot. So they did not pull the trigger. I'm sorry, they pulled the trigger. They did not pull the strings, whatever you call that. But Real Betis Balompi really are strong with their meme game, but it's a really old format if you ask me. But more importantly, this is how they announce Hector Bellerin. This is one of the ways that they are announcing Hector Bellerin. The second one was this. My God, seriously, that's really good. It's really crazy. Hector Bellerin goes back to La Liga. Back? Okay, whatever. He goes back to Spain. That's all I want to say. And Simon Stone confirmed that as per others, Ainsley will stay at Arsenal after talks this afternoon, see whether he gets his wish to play. Sami Mokbel says Maitland-Niles has held clear the air talks with Mikel Arteta. He's staying at Arsenal and has been assured he is part of Arteta's plans this season. Well, more importantly than not, we already spoke about how Takehiro Tomiyasu was signed and Arsenal were not interested in signing Hossein Aouar. Suddenly than not, it's been announced that Oud Heverly Leuven, OH Leuven, have already announced Alex Renarson on a loan spell. Yes, the loan includes an option to buy accordingly. So Alex Renarson might leave Arsenal for good. So crazy stuff. So, well, Jack, I'm talk about him. Okay, we spoke about Kolasinac. Okay, so let's talk about Reiss Nelson. Now he tweeted this image with the caption, new location, Rotterdam, excited for what's to come ahead with Feyenoord. That's a wonderful part of being a footballer. I think so. So you get to travel the world, and more importantly, you get to play for beautiful clubs. My God, it's such a beautiful feeling. Well, not in this lifetime for me, but whatever. Well, Jack Wilshere is currently running with Serie B side Como, but they can't sign him because they currently are not in a position to sign a non-EU players. But apparently, that's the only club that gave him a chance to train. Of course, I think. Um, Well, talking about another story for you guys, Bukayo Saka has become an ambassador for fundraising campaign Cancer Deadline Day. Well, for most of the Arsenal fans who were quite negative, the deadline day was cancerous, so you just can't blame. So you got him. You got your ambassador is Bukayo Saka. Look at his cute smiling face. Yeah, that's what Bukayo is. Cute smiling face. Yeah, that's exactly what he brings to the table. But even Charles Watts confirmed that Maitland-Niles is set to stay after talks with Arteta at London Colney this afternoon. He's been told he will be involved this season, and so what do we know until now? Sead Kolasinac, his deal with Fenerbahce, he was asking too much. He wanted a sign-on fee. What does he think of himself? Like a celebrity? Oh my God, the man literally got relegated with Schalke, and is now about to get relegated with Arsenal. The second part was a joke, okay? So AFC Bell also said that a source close to Elneny tells them that the players' camp is not expected to leave today, but the door was not completely closed to the possibility of his exit in the coming days. Interested Turkish clubs have a week to make an acceptable offer to Arsenal. Will someone offer that? Yet to be seen. So Maitland-Niles stays. Aouar stays at Lyon. Maitland-Niles stays at Arsenal. Kolasinac stays for now, but I don't know if Kolasinac is going to get game time. He doesn't deserve. Maybe against AFC Wimbledon. I don't even want to give him that. Yeah, I'm a tough guy. I was raised tough. Maybe just joking around. So, moving on. So Jonathan Dinzey, he joins Carlisle United on loan. Yes, Arsenal have already established this on their website that young defender Jonathan Dinzey has joined League Two side Carlisle United on loan for the upcoming season. So all the best, Jonathan. Well, moving on, let's talk about Takahiro Tomiyasu. So, 22-year-old centre back is still in the early days of his career. So, with his current season being only his fourth outside of Japan. Previously, he has played for his hometown team Avispa Fukuoka between 2009 and 2017. Spent a season in Belgium with Sint Truiden, and finally his last 2 seasons in Italy with Bologna. Throughout his time, he has played 96 games at centre back, 42 at right back, 16 in defensive midfield, and just 2 at left back. It is worth noting, however, that during his most recent time at Bologna, he made 41 out of 63 appearances at right back, which is now the position he's most strongly associated with. Nevertheless, his positional CV demonstrates the versatility of his skill set. Tomiyasu has also made 23 international appearances since his debut at just 19 years of age, including this summer's Olympics, in this year's Summer Olympics, in which he played both centre back and right back before Japan's early exit. Now, what will he bring to the table? Similarly to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, Arteta likes to play with one advanced fullback and one more deep-lying inverted fullback. When in possession, this looks something like 3-2-5 or 2-3-5 formation, as demonstrated in both the images below. Given Kieran Tierney's attacking capabilities, it made sense that Arsenal targeted a right back that can fill the inverted mold, and Tomiyasu does just that. Below shows his 2019-2020 season heat map, where he started at all 29 games at right back left this image as a right back, compared to Tierney's last season. Comparing him statistically is a challenge since he's played both centre back and right back this season pretty much equally. Due to this, this guy AFCJXMES James on Twitter says that he's going to break down his stats where he exclusively played right back as previously mentioned. Also note that he has continued to improve since this. What about passing? Now, Tomiyasu ranked very respectably in almost all aspects of his passing, as previously touched upon. His lack of XA and key passes and penalty area entries comes down to his tendencies to sit deeper and tuck in. Aside from that, the player ranks very well in short, medium, and long range passing. But in terms of volume and accuracy, as well as he ranks impressively in terms of ball progression, being 87th percentile in progressive passing distance and 94th for passes into the final third. And talking about his defending, well, when it comes to volume-based defensive stats, it's important to be cautious as it varies with team and individual play style. Nevertheless, Tomiyasu again ranks impressively in this aspect, particularly his 1v1 defending, showing by his 52.2% dribblers tackled top 20%. This aspect of his game has only improved since then, with the number rising to 56.7% last year, putting him in the top 10%. Less promising was his 0.11 errors per 90 during the 2019-2020 season. However, he has impressively followed this up with 0 in the whole of 2020-2021 season. No mistakes. Possession, helped by his 6.2 height and eye-catching speed, he is capable dribbler with a 64% success rate, much improved compared to Arsenal's current. He also carries the ball well, ranking top 20% in both total and progressive carrying distances. Interestingly, his 2019-2020 season, he won 1.85 aerial duels per 90, but 51%, which is distinctly average. In the following season, this improved to 64.2%, meaning he won 3.5 aerial duels per 90 in the top 10% of his position, something Callum Chambers needs to learn. His final strength, worth mentioning, is his impressive ambipedality, with only 67% of his actions coming from his stronger right foot. For comparison, Cazorla makes 68%. Santi makes 68%. In terms of weaknesses, James actually found it really difficult to, overly concerning with Tomiyasu. His attacking capabilities are admittedly below par. But in theory, this should not be an issue with the role he will play at Arsenal, which will be much more defensive. So, conclusion says, Tomiyasu isn't a marquee signing our fans were looking for. He shows an impressive skill set for his age and has physical capabilities to even further this. Let's see what happens. I will see you in the next one. And also, the bigger problem is his injury record. 2018-2019, bruised knee, out for 7 days. Biceps femoris muscle injury. Wait, let me just share this with you guys. His injury history. Of course, I tend to pull this up during my live streams, but here we go. So, injury history for Takehiro Tomiyasu. Last season, knee problems, out for 7 days. Muscular problems, out for a month. Calf injury, out for 18 days. Not a very long injury, but still he's out for some time. Good amount of time. Hamstring injury, out for 40 days. Biceps femoris injury, 36 days. 2018-2019, only the whole season was out for bruised knee, 7 days. So he's got knee problems. He's got a lot of thigh and knee problems. I don't know if Arsenal checked this out before signing him, but more importantly, yes, these are his issues. How will they tackle it? Well, only they know. Well, with this, I'd like to end this episode. Let me know what you guys still think about Takehiro Tomiyasu. Adds a lot of value, but could be a very good signing. You never know. But yeah, not a marquee signing as was expected by a lot. Cheers. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.